South Korea U-23 looked tense when they tested the strength of the Indonesia U-23 national team in the quarterfinals of the U-23 Asian Cup, which took place at the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium, Doha on Friday. They seemed to carry a heavy burden against the Garuda Muda Team, which finally made it to the semifinals through a thrilling penalty shootout. GAWANG PATAH has summarized for you. Since the first minute, South Korea has been mentally hit by the Indonesian U-23 national team. U-23 Asian Cup. South Korea U-23 looked tense when they tested the strength of the Indonesia U-23 national team in the quarterfinals of the U-23 Asian Cup, which took place at the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium, Doha on Friday. They seemed to carry a heavy burden against the Garuda Muda Team, which finally made it to the semifinals through a thrilling penalty shootout. No smiles were seen throughout the match. The faces of the Garuda Muda Team players tended to be flat. Even if they rejoiced, it happened after scoring a goal. The rest of the time there was no joy in sight. They seemed to be overshadowed by the mental hit syndrome. They were afraid of being humiliated by the Indonesia U-23 national team, which in the preliminary phase unexpectedly played a good game. Unlike the Indonesian U-23 national team, who looked more relaxed. Shin Tae-jong's children did not seem at all intimidated by the opposing camp. The players smiled a lot, and there were even small mistakes they made between each other on the field. Had a 1-0 lead, the Indonesian U-23 national team did not look tense at all once the opposing camp equalized. There was only a matter of minutes they got back up to score a goal to change the score 2-1. Red card incident. The South Korea U-23 players' nerves got the better of them when one of their players was red-carded by referee Sean Evans. In the 70th minute, South Korea U-23 had to play with 10 men after Lee Young-jun was shown a red card. Initially, Lee received a yellow card for a hard tackle on Justin Hubner. However, after the referee saw the replay through VR, the yellow card was disallowed and immediately given a red card. Yes, it was only natural that the striker was told to leave the field early. His rough action to step on Justin Hubner's foot was very dangerous. The action must have been because he was annoyed to get a tight escort from Justin Hubner, who arguably performed brilliantly throughout the match. Opponent's coach goes berserk. The tension on the pitch was contagious on the bench of the South Korea U-23 players. Their coach Hwang Sun-hong was red-carded because the referee considered excessive protests when the score was 2-2. The mentor seemed to be very upset to see the actions of his men, who were made not optimal because they only had 10 players. The red-white team players put up a solid wall that was difficult to break down. Hwang Sun-hong's emotional behavior. His fellow South Korean compatriot Shin Tae-jong looked calm throughout the match. The coach, who has been known to be fierce and fond of protesting to the referee if his team is disadvantaged, looks cool. He said before the match that he respected his country very much. SDY's attitude is a form of respect for South Korea. Dramatic match. Garuda Muda vs Taeguk Warriors duel was held at Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium, Qatar. Garuda Muda's opening goal was scored by Rafael Struik through a hard kick in the 15th minute. South Korea equalized through Komang Taega's own goal in the 45th minute. 3 minutes later, Rafael Struik scored again for Garuda's advantage. In the second half, South Korea equalized after Jong Sangbin counterattacked in the 84th minute. The 2-2 score lasted until extra time. A penalty shootout was forced. On penalties, the Indonesian U-23 U-23 national team was finally able to beat the South Korean national team with a score of 11-10. Of the 12 Garuda Muda Team kickers, only Arkan Fikri failed, while the two South Korean penalty takers who failed were Kang Sang-yoon and Lee Kang-hee.